Hey everybody, what is up? It's Cookie and Swanee once again. The Last Jedi DLC trailer has launched, as most of you have probably already seen and know about very well, and we are going to give you our first impressions of what we saw from the Last Jedi DLC trailer. As the rest of you guys in the Battlefront community, we've been looking forward to this quite a lot, and we want to just tell you guys what we thought of the trailer. So, just basically start with just general thoughts, I guess, on this one, Swanee. Just, did you like the trailer? Would be the first question I'd ask you, just in general.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I thought the trailer was pretty epic. So, I mean, it had some heroes. I mean, it had Phasma, it had Finn. It had some like Starfighter stuff at the beginning. So I'm assuming there's another Starfighter assault map. I mean, it had the campaign. Graphics were stunning. Overall, I mean, the trailer is beautiful.
Yeah, it's incredible. Dice's special effects. Like, I can't give enough credit to them, especially after messing with cinematic mode a little bit. Some of you guys have seen. It's unbelievable. the graphics.
They're really good at making trailers.
Yes, they are. And the Starfighter Assault stuff, I think, is pretty cool because I think they had originally said that they wanted to see if people really like Starfighter Assault, and if they did, they'd add more and more content to it, and people did respond and really like Starfighter Assault. So it looks like they're already adding more to that. They've added a hero ship, too. So kind of excited to mess around with that, as people know I really like Starfighter Assault. So let's talk about the Galactic Assault map of Crait, or Crait, or however they say it.
Yes.
Yes.
Go
ahead.
Kind of concerned because the beginning part, like I'm looking through the trailer right now, the beginning part looks a little concerning. Like, okay, first off, I want it to be one of those longer maps, like the ones with the MTT and like Naboo and Endor. What else? Like Kashyyyk, those types of maps. Like, hopefully it does because it has walkers in the beginning phase, obviously.
Yeah,
so
I would imagine it.
I'm assuming it's going to be broken up. Like the first phase is just these walkers, and then everybody goes inside, and then it turns into like a cave battle type thing. So I'm hoping there's like at least 3, maybe 4 phases, but there should at least be 3 phases, and the first phase should last a while. But what concerns me is that it's so open. Like if it's anything like Hoth, if you're a hero in the first phase on Hoth, you just get wrecked by air vehicles.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can at least hide in some of the caves or hide behind some of the like hills
trenches
and stuff.
At least there's trenches on Hoth.
This one, it looks like there's like some trenches, like there's like holes in the ground on Crait, but it's nothing compared to Hoth. Like, if you're a hero in the first phase, you're going to get demolished. Especially, like, if you're, like, Finn, for example, you have to avoid all the AT-ATs, you have to avoid the AT-STs, and you have to avoid all the TIE fighters. So...
Yeah, even in that scene
and
in the
those,
trailer,
like,
I was thinking, like, Finn's about to get massacred. He's like, let's go! And as soon as he walks out there, he's going to get shot by, like, 40 TIE fighters. Or the AT-AT things. Yeah. He has no prayer out there. He's way out in the open.
It looks like there are some trenches, yes. But those flying vehicles that the Rebels have, if those work anything like the speeder bikes do on Endor, then if you're a hero on the villain side, you're going to get freaking massacred there, too. They're just going to run you over.
Yeah. And, I mean, we know very little about those things because obviously we haven't seen the movie or anything yet, so... but that, I mean, it looks incredible. It looks interesting. Also, like, you can see that they're in, like, a diamond part of the cave and stuff, which kind of shows us a little bit of what the planet's going to be like in the movies, which I kind of like because it actually looks fairly unique. This doesn't look like other planets. Like, one problem I have with Jakku is it's another Tatooine, just a little, very slightly different. This planet looks very original and very unique, so just I mean, that's an overall Star Wars thing there. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, though. I think the beginning part's going to be challenging. I'm curious how they're going to do that in a way that doesn't make it not fun to play. Because if you're not a starfighter, or you're not on one of those bikes, I don't see how you're going to get much out of that first phase because it's just so open. It needs to be, because from what I've seen from the Last Jedi trailers, that is what it looks like. So they have to be true to what it looks like. But how they're going to even balance that out, I don't know. But I'd be curious to see how they pull that off. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are starfighters in it. I saw some. I mean, there are ships in the trailer, as I'm pretty aware. So.
Oh yeah, there's.
So it's not like they're going to
TIE
take
fighters
them
flying
out.
around.
So I don't know exactly how
Might
that's
have
going
to
to work.
for balancing. But I don't know.
If they took them out,
What
I
do you think
it'd
about
be much
the-
more balanced.
What do you think about the campaign parts of the trailer? Like it just shows like an older Iden, shows Kylo, so it's taking place during the First Order stuff.
I mean, I would at least.
It's going to take place
imagine-
during like this movie timeline.
I would at least imagine they're not going to mess with the whole, Iden's daughter's Rey. Now, I'm pretty sure that's dead. I hope we can get rid of that thought
Yeah,
now.
considering she's in
Someone
the
else.
trailer.
All right, imagine that's her daughter, unless they're pulling a fast one on
I
us.
don't know why people even considered that
Yeah,
a thing
that was not
anyway,
a very
but
good theory in
it's
the
a
first
different
place. But at least we can
story.
hopefully put that to bed now. I don't know. Obviously we
See,
were
I'm
pretty
not
critical
that
of the
excited.
campaign. Yeah, I mean she's good
the
still.
campaign wasn't that good.
I mean I don't care. Unless they're
gonna
gonna
give
do
us
something
what?
original here. I don't really care.
Maybe 2 missions.
Yeah, I mean
for the campaign.
I'll play it. There'll probably be elements to it that are fun, but it'll probably the same problem as the general campaign. It just doesn't have an engrossing, interesting story. It's just same old, same old. So if you're not going to do anything original or interesting, I don't really care. Now, maybe if her daughter turns evil, that'd be kind of interesting. I think that might be kind of
I mean,
cool.
the best part's going to be Shriv, because I saw that he was in it for like a half second.
Yeah, everything.
But
Just
other
gonna
than
be
that,
Shriv.
I'm basically going to play it for him. That's what
Wow.
it comes down to. Playing it for Shriv, the side
I
character.
mean, I'm just going to play it so I progress the story, but I'm not really... And plus, you get challenges and stuff. I imagine that'll keep happening. But I'm not excited for the campaign either. I just hope they do something interesting and original-ish.
Okay, what about this? They add these new maps, okay? With the current size of the playlist, like what if we never get to play on this map? Like if they just add it to the pool of other maps, it could be like 4 or 5 hours before you get to play on the
That's
new
how
DLC
everything
map.
is. I mean, I think that's how they need to
Well-
do it. I mean, I think that's how they need to do it. I wouldn't have a problem with that. They maybe for the first couple weeks, it might be smart for them to just have one playlist that's just that map, but then eventually just throw it in with all the other maps. Maybe for the first week or
'cause-
two, they just have a playlist for just that map. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
Well,
about
it
doing
would be
something
that
like
map
that.
and Starfighter Assault combined.
Yeah, I mean, Starfighter Assault's not as bad because there's only 5 maps right now, so this will be the 6th one. So it's not like that. It won't be nearly as long a wait time.
Yeah, because if they have a different playlist for DLC like the first game, it just splits up the
Oh, yeah, they
community
can't do
way too
that.
much.
But if they
It's hard to find a match sometimes now.
yeah, if they
Like I'll join a
do it
game and it'll be like,
for-
you need 18 players.
If they just do it for like a week or two, I think that would be fine. If they keep that forever, that would be
Yeah, I
stupid.
agree.
They can't do that. But if they do it for a week or two,
Yeah, like
you could do the same thing with the Starfighter Assault map if they wanted to for like a week or two. But like I said, it doesn't matter as much for that. But I don't think it's overall a big problem. They have got to eventually at least put it with everything else, because that was one of the big things about the DLC and everybody having it and being for free, was so it didn't split up the player base. So that would be insane for them to do that. But yeah, that could be a little annoying if it just goes into the rotation. You don't get to play on it as much, but it'll balance out over time. And over time, it'll be just as common as everything else. Something not a whole lot of people are talking about, but I'm very interested in, is the Starfighter Hero, which is Ali's RZ-AZ A-Wing. And part of the reason that's so interesting to me is not just because I like Starfighter Assault, but as people saw from the top 10 vehicles, spoiler, the number 1 vehicle for me is an A-Wing. And if this is a super A-Wing, that is going to be extremely powerful. I mean,
A-Wing is pretty OP.
I would imagine it'll be a lot like Yoda's Jedi Interceptor, because it'll just have extremely high rate of fire and probably won't be able to take a whole lot of damage because it's an interceptor class, which is fine, but that's going to be so much fun to do. Because if it's just a super A-Wing...
Well, now there's
that
an
sounds super
uneven
exciting.
number. There's more hero ships than there
There's
are.
already an uneven number, which is kind of dumb. like.
Oh yeah, there's. I can count them right now. There's
5, and there's
Han and
4
Chewie.
villain ones.
Rey and Chewie.
Yeah,
you're right.
2 Millennium Falcons, Yoda's ship,
So now
Poe's
there's
ship,
going to be
and Luke's
6.
ship. So now there's going to be 6.
6 heroes and
there's only
4
4
villains.
villain ones. So yeah, that's kind of weird, and I don't know why they would do that. But I mean, I'm going to be excited because it's an A-wing. But what would have made more sense is give Phasma a ship. That'd have been kind of interesting. And I mean, wouldn't be too obsessed with canon at this point. I mean, I guess everything they've used so far, it's been in Star Wars at some point. Even Yoda's fighter, I know it's used in the Clone Wars a lot. But still, I just give her a ship because having it uneven is just kind of annoying. I mean, it's already annoying to play as the villains.
I mean, they could eventually
Starfighter
add
Assault.
Jango's ship.
Yeah, I mean, another slave
maybe
one, I
Grievous's
guess.
bomber that he flew. I don't know what else
Grievous's
they
escape
could
pod.
really add for the. I don't know what else they could use for the villain ships.
Yeah, they
though.
just. I know. I would just add them.
Just make something up.
Just,
Palpatine
just
ship.
throw them in a ship and let them drive around.
Just
Give
throw 'em in a
Bosk a
ship.
ship. I don't care. Doesn't make any sense. I can let canon go for that. Just make it even. That's fine with me. I mean, they already had Boss, Dengar, and Greedo in the game. They all didn't matter
it would make
in the
more
first
sense if
one.
Rey and Chewie was just a skin instead of its
That
own
would've
ship.
made much more sense.
Like you
too.
just pick like you just go into the options and you're like, I want Han and Chewie. Nope, now I want Rey and Chewie. It's not like they say that much while you're flying them around anyway.
Yeah, hell, you could have done the same thing with Yoda's Jedi Interceptor if they want to add like Obi-Wan in the future, because Obi-Wan had like I think a Jedi Interceptor too. You could just add a different skin to them, or Anakin. Anakin had one too. So I mean, there's stuff like that would have made more sense. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm just excited to have a Super A-wing, and that's what I think is going to be kind of fun to use. But as far as Finn and
it'll be
Phasma,
overall pretty fun DLC.
I just don't think we don't know enough. I mean, we still don't know if they're going to be any fun to play because we don't know what they're going to do.
Well,
Still
they've had some data mines, but you have to take that with a grain of salt because just because it's been data mined, it could easily have been changed.
Yeah, it's
since
probably
then.
been updated since then. So I mean, it's not a guarantee it's going to be that, because obviously the graphics are going to look different. The one I saw with Phasma, I mean, she's not fully done in that. So there's a lot of things that could be changed, I guess, as far as that's concerned too. But it should be fun, and I'm really, really glad it's free. And this is the one of the coolest things about Battlefront 2 with all the stupidity EA has done. This is one of the things, hopefully, unless they sneak something on us, that they did very right in giving us free DLC. So let's all be happy about that for the moment. Take one of the positives, as long as it stays a positive, and give EA a little credit on that one, if we can. I know giving EA credit's not very popular right now, but yeah, this is kind of cool. So I'm happy with that. So that will do it for this podcast, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you've gotten to this part in the video, make sure you hit that like button as always. Support us on Patreon if you can. We always are opening new patrons, and every patron we get helps out a ton. Comment your opinions down below on what we talked about, of course. Get the conversation going. Tell us what you want to hear in a future podcast. Watch other videos. We got tons of them as always, and tons more to come. And that pretty much sums just about everything up that I can think of. So, have an awesome day, guys.
Your defeat is inevitable.
I warn you not to underestimate my powers.
Do not throw away your potential.
Don't force me to kill you!